Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to take a few minutes to talk about the hanging out exercise. And again, if you watch my videos with my board and trains, you will have seen me perform this exercise by way of sitting down and putting a demand on a dog to go into a down position within a state of relaxation. And again, this is a great exercise when it comes to not just reconciling, okay, how you're perceived in the relationship, but in terms of change as well, in terms of starting to kind of open it up in terms of giving a dog more freedom. And again, talking about the issue about freedom, about relationship, structure, as well as the role of influence within the process itself. Now, again, by way of the hanging out exercise, very interesting, in fact. Again, I would encourage anyone who's seeking to kind of gain insight into how much control a dog is holding to actually put this exercise to the test, okay? By way, again, watch the video with how I'm doing it, by way, again, of putting a demand on the dog the way I'm doing it by way of a specific interaction. Now, this goes in this whole issue again in terms of intent. Okay, number one is people assume that because you're not giving a dog a verbal command, okay, therefore the reason the dog is engaging in challenge, okay, level of challenge, is because they don't understand. As if the process is some sort of a learning-based exercise. And this is where you have to apply critical thinking. I mean, just think about it. Again, that's why I talk about this issue about, what's very popular with motivating dogs at the very beginning to respond using treats, okay, and how that leads people into inherently flawed assumptions based on appearances, based on the sit down, come and stay, just looking at those responses saying, well, that must mean or represent that good things are happening in the relationship. And more often than not, it couldn't be further from the truth, okay? But again, consider the parenting example, okay? You could have a very selfish child make their bed and pick up their toys for, say, something they want, like an Xbox game. It doesn't represent whatsoever based on how you're engaging, the way that you're, motivating a response, that those responses represent that the child's attitude's getting better. Based, again, on the superficial way in which you're jumping in and simply just bringing your entire focus on responses without connecting dots by way of relationship depth, okay? Influence. And again, just think about parental influence. So again, going back to the hangout exercise, it's how it funnels, okay? And here's the thing, especially if you're interacting with a dog in, say, certain places like the couch and the bed, certain areas where there's more emotion, it's very interesting because you'll see the dog go into even a higher level of challenge, really protest, because what happens is emotion becomes a source of empowerment, a way to take a path of control. And this is why people get themselves in trouble, because appearances are what people really focus in on, saying, well, it feels really good, I'm petting my dog, they seem to like it, they seem to be calm, but they're really not really, they're in control. So the issue about comfort, okay, gaining comfort through control, again, it's context. So again, you have an appearance of a dog that looks at times very well behaved, and think about that statement, my dog's pretty good except, well, that statement will start to take on new meaning in light of the information I put out. Okay, very, very interesting. So again, my encouragement is, if you really want to know or gain insight into how you're perceived, give the hanging out exercise, okay, a go. But again, it's just going to provide information that you already know. I mean, if you're already having a relationship problem, you already know. And then you start to attempt to bring your dog into a down position the way I show, by way of a reasonable demand with how you're pushing, you'll see it. Dog knows the intent. And that's nothing to do with doesn't understand because you didn't say a word. But then if you lean on that word, guess what? Now the dog's in control to make their own choice. All right, just like, again, I go through this stuff and talk about the whole context. Why, the process itself needs to take the path of a power play. But again, not in a way that's meant to start a war with your dog or get you bitten, okay? It's about the method as well. So again, it needs to line up, okay? The method itself You have to be, very intentional in a way that's going to create change without bringing your dog into a high level of challenge. And then if that high level challenge is going to happen anyway because the dog's holding a higher level of control, well, you want to make sure the dog's wearing a muzzle. Okay, so you have to keep it safe. It's all about intent. But again, the hang-out exercise, great exercise to reveal the truth as to how you're perceived in the relationship, but also a great foundation exercise by way of changing perceptions of dogs at the same time. Thanks for watching.